20-16 for the Board of Selectmen and Ellen Jamieson. I also signed the VW 20-16 for North of Boston advertising expenses and the VW 20-17 for MMA meeting expenses. We have some grants, gifts, and donations tonight. We have a World War II memorial donation of $50.
Motion to accept?
Second, and that was courtesy of Wendy Cook. So thanks to Wendy Cook of Plum Island. Okay, we have some new business. We have a request for public property use. Sarah Trimble, Alzheimer's Association, Ride to End Alzheimer's, Saturday, June 6, 2020, from 8:45 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
She's here, if you wanna speak.
Would you like to speak to the event?
Sure.
You don't have to, but if, it'll be on TV, so.
Oh, okay. Should I come up?
Yeah, if you come right over here, that'd be great.
So this is the 24th annual Ride to End Alz benefiting the Alzheimer's Association. So 90% of all money raised goes directly to research. We're expecting to raise about $500,000 and have about 500 cyclists. So we start and end up in Hampton, New Hampshire at Hampton Beach State Park, and a portion of our route cycles through your lovely town. This will be our 5th year cycling through Newbury.
It is a lovely town, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, thank you, and you folks might already be aware, just be wary of spray painting arrows in the streets.
Yes, we
Okay.
will not be spray painting arrows.
Perfect. All right, thank you, and good luck with your event.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Kyle Jackson, DBA Going Green Lawn Care, 51 Northern Boulevard, general business license.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is he here?
Yes.
Would you like to say a few things about your business?
Give it a rundown.
Yeah.
It's just going to be standard lawn care to start out, a sole proprietorship for just me and all electric equipment, organics, so no pollutants really. I do commercial fishing for a living and I'm just trying to give back to what's been doing good for me, so
Right.
Good for you.
Good
looking forward
luck.
to it.
Good luck with it.
Good, good luck with your business. There's
Yeah.
lots of work in Newbury, and we need more young people that are willing to get down and
Right.
do the dirty jobs. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck with your business.
Good luck.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have some renewals. David and Carol Dempsey, DBA Plum Island Kitchen, 134 Northern Boulevard, common victualler.
Motion made.
Second.
Accept.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have Richard Salmonson, DBA Bridge Road Signs, 9 Graham Ave, general business.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Robin Davies, DBA Parker River Dental, 3 Kent Way, general business.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we also have an appointment tonight of Julie O'Brien to the Stormwater Management Team.
Motion to appoint?
And
Second.
that's from February 11th, 2020 to June 30th, 2020. Any other discussion?
Glad that people, yeah.
Stepping up.
Yeah, that's, the stormwater management, it sounds simple, but there's a lot of work to do. John O'Connell's brought us a really long way in that process, identifying a lot of the outfalls, existing drains and pipes, and Julie's gonna hopefully transition with John and pick up where he left off. So big thanks to Julie and to John for what he started.
Yeah.
So,
Has John left?
no,
No.
they're gonna transition
Okay, good.
for a while
Okay,
to make
good.
it a smooth.
Good.
A lot of learned and institutional knowledge on John's
Oh,
part
yeah.
he can pass
Very
on.
much so much.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Administrators report.
Sure. We've had a lot of good news lately. We were awarded 2 of the municipal vulnerability preparedness grants. The joint grant with Newburyport, we received $217,451 for the grant entitled Identifying the Municipal, Environmental, and Social Costs and Benefits of Providing Public Services to Plum Island to Empower Effective Planning in the Face of Climate Change. The funding that we received will be used primarily to allow the 2 towns to begin the task of long-term planning for the future, Plum Island's future, to get ahead of it. We'll complete a cost-benefit analysis that will become the basis for our planning endeavors. and determining public service, infrastructure, making those decisions, helping guide the two communities in making those decisions. Things like raising the Plum Island Turnpike if it's necessary, or providing public safety during storms when, in all situations, things like that. So we're gonna try and get a little bit ahead of this and do some.
An access road out, is that part of this or not?
The access road out is not part of this grant, but we have a proposal, for an emergency egress should the center, become breached. And that right now is before the Conservation Commission.
We're gonna get information on that.
Doug
Doug,
Packer
okay,
has the majority of it. The plans are there, we've done the engineering.
Did it come out what, by Pine Island, or is it, which one?
It comes out on Old Point.
Old Point, okay,
yeah.
okay.
We were also successful in our grant proposal for the controlling flooding and addressing future climate impacts through the replacement of the Orchard Street culvert. I think you all had a presentation. That one was for $126,324. So that will eventually allow us to upgrade the culvert at Orchard Street. The grant funding will provide surveying and data collection, preliminary engineering, hydraulic analysis, is there anything else? Geotechnical, I think, planning, yeah. So, that'll be next on the DPW's agenda. We got our contract executed with Gill Engineering to get started on that.
Very good.
I did want to give you a yard waste update. There's been a lot of confusion on this issue. I'm not sure why all of a sudden, but leaves and grass clippings can currently be disposed in Georgetown, not brush. They don't accept any brush. And we have a proposal before the Newburyport City Council that would allow Newbury residents to dispose of the yard waste at their facility, but they have not voted yet. So we cannot deliver materials there at this point in time. So until the council puts it on their agenda and votes,
Was there any talk of how much they would charge a resident?
they were gonna have to,
Okay.
make those determinations. It would be at least as much as what they
Oh,
charge
yeah.
their
Oh, yeah,
residents, so.
I was just expecting more.
Yeah, so.
Can I ask, can you explain why that isn't an option in the town of Newbury at our own transfer station?
Well, we don't run a transfer station. Our transfer station is managed by Mellow Disposal. If that's something you want to pursue, there's just, understandably costs that go along with it,
Not-
hiring personnel, management of the site.
I'm not opposed to either approach, but I do some composting myself, and it's not as simple as making a pile and just dozing it up and
Oh, I know.
forgetting about it. Compost heats, it can catch fire, it can wash away into water bodies, so it's something we need to think deeply about before we got into that
was
business
just
ourselves,
wondering
especially
why
on
we didn't do it.
especially on the side of Little River right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that would be the right site, but, if Newburyport grants the people in Newbury the ability to purchase a sticker and use their facility, it might be a good
Easier.
option.
Yep.
But 18 years ago, when we built the transfer station and we capped the dump, DEP was dead against us doing any.
Stuff like that.
They said there was no chance in hell that we'd ever be allowed to have a refuge compost down in that area.
Is that because of the reputation the town of Newbury had at the time and?
Yeah, because of the sins of our past.
The sins of the past?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, in election news.
We'll get to
oh,
citizens' concerns.
In election news, the presidential primary is on March 3rd, so our polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voting is going to take place at the library for Precinct 2 and the Firefighters Memorial Hall, the same location at 3 Morgan Ave for Precinct 1. There will be a change in the traffic flow pattern on Election Day. The deputy chief and the chief have advised that the traffic will be one-way heading east, go on to South Pond, onto Graham Ave, and then back to High Road. Parking areas will be clearly designated throughout the day, and I've also been advised there will be a police officer there throughout the voting period to assist. For those who don't want to come on that day, absentee ballots are available through noon on Monday, March 2nd, by mail or in person in the town clerk's office. And residents are also able to take advantage of early voting from February 24th to the 27th. And the town clerk does ask that everybody review their registration status prior to heading to the polls, so to make sure that they're eligible.
Do you know where the parking area is gonna be?
Yep, I do have a plan. They're gonna provide parking one way on Morgan Ave. So you can see it here.
Yeah,
Along the
okay, okay,
PD,
good, that's good.
also in front of the fire station
Where's the fire
there,
station?
they're
Where
existing,
are they gonna go? Oh, they're gonna go over here?
they'll be over
Okay,
here.
okay, okay.
Yep, so the parking will be here, along Morgan Ave, and in the fire station.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. I received notification yesterday from the Department of Revenue that the free cash for the Byfield Water District was approved in the amount of $431,626. In terms of what's keeping our offices busy right now, it's fiscal 2021 budget all day, all the time. The budget calendar we worked on last week with the Finance Committee. The deadline was yesterday for the submission of all the special article requests, so now that those are all gathered, I'll compile the first draft of the warrant for your review. The 25th, I'll provide preliminary budget information and that we can conduct the special article review. March 2nd is when we generally get all the budget information from Triton. We'll see the impact of the Student Opportunity Act. I
Negligible.
understand from Brian that we can expect increasing foundation here in Newbury, so we'll be on the lookout for all that final data. March 31st, the Board of Selectmen and Finance Committee that would be when we generally take our final votes. We do it in a joint meeting, so that would be a meeting in addition to our normal schedule, the normal selectmen's schedule. We'll prepare the Finance Committee booklet the following week, for just following all the formal voting. Post the warrants on April 6th, followed by the town meeting on the 28th. Okay. I did want to confirm with the Board of Selectmen that you want to propose the bylaw change relative to Chapter 41-1, the alcoholic beverages use restricted. That's the amendment that would allow for the consumption of alcohol on public building premises with the prior approval of the Board of Selectmen. That was something I think the Byfield Community Arts Center had come to you, but we never, I don't think we ever took a formal vote on that, so I just wanted to put that on your radar.
Do we need a formal vote on that today?
I need a chance to review it.
Yeah,
It's hot off the press.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
When do you need that by? Our next meeting?
Whenever you know, I mean, it won't take long to revise it. I can get the language and you can have a chance to look at it and prior to the final. I mean, we don't have to post until the 6th, but we're planning on taking all the votes by the 31st.
Were you looking for a vote to bring it to the council so it can be written, or a vote
No, just.
to approve it for the warrant?
I'm kind of pulling together all the things that we had talked about, and that was one of them that we'll need, the formal vote when we get the warrant in front of you.
Okay.
The planning board is proposing zoning amendments, so they'll have those to us for the deadlines. They all worked with your public hearing process, right?
Yeah, so the goal is to have the board review them at their meeting next week, and then refer them to you all to refer back for public hearing, so you would have it in time for the 25th review.
And I also am proposing making some amendments to Chapter 460 of the Acts of 2008. Much like we did with the regional agreement, there are items that in practice differ from what it said in the agreement. Well, we have the same thing on our Board of Selectmen, Town Administrator Act. There are some items in there that are inconsistent with what we actually do in practice. So making some changes there, eliminating references to the Board of Fire Engineers, we don't have them anymore, and then updating references to the Select Board. So I'll have that for the meeting when we go over the warrant as well. ClearGov, we have scheduled an additional training as some of the managers have not been able to enter their budgetary data directly into the program. We've had a few issues, so they'll be coming out tomorrow. And I did confirm, Mr. Matthews had asked at the Finance Committee meeting if we would have access to the checkbook. I did not think we would. I thought it was a separate module, but they confirmed that we will have that module available to us, so that you'll be able to see all of the checks that are issued from the town. So we will have that at no additional cost. And basically the way it works is what we'll do is we'll update the checkbook on a quarterly basis, and then all of the budgetary information, the financial statements, will be updated on an annual basis.
And
So it
it sounds like once with ClearGov, once we get through a year, everyone's used to entering the data and the format and everything. The ensuing year should be much easier.
I hope so. No, I think it will be.
It's not in real time.
No. The Board of Selectmen, I was going to ask for one vote tonight, just to allow the chair and the vice chair of the building committee to authorize the change orders. As we get closer to, physical construction, it would be nice to give them the authority to authorize those change orders as they come up.
Has there been a lag over there at all? I mean, it's just like, they were like gung-ho for a couple days, and all of a sudden, for the last 4 days, I haven't seen anyone. I don't know.
You'd have to talk to the building committee on as opposed to what they're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it's been, they got a lot done, and all of a sudden, everything came to a halt for 4 days, and I was
Yeah,
just.
when factor into
I can speak a
Oh,
little bit.
okay, thanks.
They were putting in the drainage pits.
Yeah.
And because of the rain and the weather,
Yeah.
it was impossible for them to keep digging and have stable ground for the equipment, so the weather slowed them down a little bit.
Something with the weather.
But hopefully, they'll be done with all that stuff by the end of next week. That's what we're, hopefully.
Good.
I drove by and I noticed there was a fence around it that had fallen down in the wind. Did that get picked
Yeah,
up?
that
That's
goes,
all, that's up.
yeah. Those are just held down with sandbags, so
Yeah,
a nice
it was
wind.
really
knocked
windy.
it down.
They've got a good pole in there now.
Oh, good.
I move that we approve the signing of change orders for the chair and vice chair of the building committee.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Cricket Lane LLC, Susan Noyes of the zoning board has received notification from the attorney representing the developer that they are getting ready to go. We do not currently have an alternate member of our ZBA, so we need someone appointed to that position sooner rather than later. It's particularly urgent because one of the members of our ZBA resides on Pearson Drive and will have to recuse, or has chosen to recuse themselves from the process, so that's, we've advertised, I know Jen's put it in a couple of times, and we haven't had any interest as an alternate for the ZBA, so if you know anyone.
Start reaching out and asking people.
It's,
So that's the name of
Sticky one.
that's the name of the Cricket Lane?
it's a,
Cricket Lane LLC,
Okay.
yep.
it's a tough job, and I've said it before, I really encourage our citizens to lighten up on some of our elected boards and volunteer committees a little bit, because it just makes it harder and harder to find good candidates to sit in these seats, and we get in a situation like this where we're beating the bushes for someone to fill this very important seat, and I think some people look at politics at a national and local level the last year or two, and they don't want to get involved. And it's sad, but it's the truth as far as I see it. All right, thank you, Tracy. Any old business? Okay, citizens' concerns. Jack,
Hey, thank you. I was curious.
would you come up to the microphone, please?
Thanks for inviting me all the way up.
Well, that way the
I
camera,
could sit back like Martha and Mike, but, you know, I'll come right up if you want. What spurred my curiosity about the composting was that I couldn't bring it to Georgetown. So I don't know where, if I'm supposed to bring it to Mello or, you know, the town of Georgetown or something, but when I called, they wouldn't let me come. So I don't know if I need something else to bring that there, but they were very direct that you can't bring anything here.
I'll,
Grass clippings and leaves, garden waste.
well,
Right,
Okay, is it be?
at Mellows in
we'll,
Georgetown.
we'll work on getting the proper contact. Maybe
That-
that's,
No, it was curious when I got shut down there.
Yeah.
I'd never given it much thought, frankly. You know,
Right.
Until, you know, like anything, you scratch it, and you
Yeah.
kind of find out some
Yeah.
things, and I didn't. So
wasn't
that was why I didn't know. So if I can, or wherever it is, but it would be, even if it's Georgetown, it's
Yep.
by the bag pay anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if, one of the things, when I was in Danvers this fall, whoever does their pickup, I think it was it may have been JRM, but they have a day where the residents put their clippings out and they pick them up, so I'm not sure if we can talk to Mello about that possible, you know, so.
Beyond me, I was
I mean, it's
just, I
like
was
I
just
said-
looking for a singular spot
Spot to
for a
put,
lot
it's
of
like-
people in my neighborhood. Space, age, a lot of reasons, a lot of people
Yeah.
can't compost or don't want it for smell reasons or whatnot, and it wasn't just myself, it was more, you know, it was right down the line with me. It wasn't just a guy that didn't want to, it was, like I said,
Yeah,
there's a lot
it'd
of
be good for-
contributing factors, and I just wanted to know
Yeah.
if they stood at the end of the driveway, where would I be able to take it for her, you know, and again, that just led up the line.
right, and it'll be good to, have a situation with people that physically can or don't have a space, like you said, can, and, what we'll do is we'll reconfirm that to make sure, maybe that was just an employee that didn't know any better that you spoke to, but,
I spoke with Jason Mello earlier this week.
Okay.
A resident, Claire Dix,
So they
had
would go-
expressed interest in it, so I did confirm it.
so they would go to the Mellows facility in Georgetown.
Well, the link on site then by media could add that link on the bottom. If you
Yeah.
have leaves, buy the bag, bring it to Mello, once you confirm that, because that's why I found out there was no link to find out there. And certainly to your point, it's certainly we're a farming community, you know, where we claim to be. Composting within the town realm certainly would be worthwhile endeavor. We're all about the land. I don't think we should necessarily, at this, you know, I understand at this moment there's no options, but certainly it's a worthwhile proposition for us to practice what we're preaching too.
Keep it on the radar.
10-4.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Real quickly, the bags, do we have to buy them from Mello, or can we just bring them over a Lego?
I think-
Kelly bag and,
You don't have to buy them.
I'm pretty sure anyone can go to Mello, and you package it yourself. Though I don't,
okay, it's like.
I've never brought compost to Mello, so I,
Okay, like I said,
Oh,
Martha,
sorry,
Martha.
Martha.
Like I said, I was gonna ask you, right, thanks.
So I have taken leaves and grass clippings to Mellow, so you just buy the paper bags that you get from Market Basket or
Okay, so
Kelly's
you-
True Value, and then you take them down and
bucket
just
bag?
tell them how many you have, and it's a bucket bag.
Beautiful.
And there's an area, specific area where you can put them.
Now, did I see in the paper they're moving?
They are moving. I think they're looking at another location, yeah.
I thought it was pretty straightforward, they were.
Right. But right now, they're still on 133, as far as I
Okay.
know.
It's good news.
thanks, Martha. Come on.
Tony Matthews, Main Street. I was wondering about the approval of the building committee to sign change orders. They had discussed different prices that they were going to be able to approve, like if one member could approve like 10,000, and two of them if it was a $15,000 change. I didn't know what exactly the number turned out to be.
No, most of the change orders, are usually minor of low values. Speaking for myself, I have faith in our building committee. I have faith in Bob Connors, John Keller, and Eric Svahn. I find them to be upstanding and trustworthy people and worthy of and capable of the responsibility. So
I just didn't know
basically,
if that was part of
how this would make it, the rationale and how this would make it, and I've tossed it around a lot over the last couple months. The signatory authorities would be the chair of the building committee, vice chair of the building committee, chair of the board of selectmen, or the town administrator. So that way, say, two people are out of town, one person's sick, there's always somebody to respond in a timely manner. So chances are that's probably not gonna happen, but we didn't wanna leave any stone unturned as to a delay that's totally, cause a delay that's totally self-imposed, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
So,
One other point, the Upper Green Committee's having a forum on Saturday, just to let everybody know that 1:30 to 3:30 at the library.
Byfield.
Yep. Bye for the library.
Yep, okay. Thanks, Tony.
And just to clarify, Mr. Chairman, the approval process for the change orders happens there, but then it's done in writing by the OPM, approved by the majority of the building committee. Then it comes to the town accountant, has to get approved for legality. Then it comes to me for signature and to the board through the warrant process. So there are multiple.
It still goes through the checks and balances.
Approvals paid.
Right. There had been that discussion though about, what the limits were gonna be for one person having to sign or two people sign. I was just wondering if they had come up with figures, that's all.
Right, no, I mean, it's, the thing about figures is that huge change order, which, hopefully is unlikely, it's more likely that there's little things
Right.
that pop up, we need to move that door a little bit, but to move the door, you're gonna move the plug, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's, stuff like that. As far as, the building committee signing away millions of dollars of the town's money, I don't see it happening.
Some of the rationale too, JR, was the bigger change orders, you're gonna know about further in advance, and those will come before the full building committee. If we have to change, something up in the attic and make 3 rooms up there or something, that's gonna cost a lot of money, and we'll know about that well in advance. It has to go before the architects and everybody else. So there'll be plenty of time for that to go before the building committee and get voted on. But the smaller things, like JR was saying, move a door here or there, that could delay the contractors, and the subcontractors for 3 days if we don't get an answer. And that's what costs you money at the end of the job. So those are the things that.
It's right now, the clock's ticking for us and the contractor. So if we have to make change orders or decisions and we don't make them timely, then they can charge you a change order at the end of the process because we took so damn long to make a decision. But also, if we're moving in a timely process, it keeps the contractor in the hot seat to stay on their schedule.
Yeah. No, I understand the whole concept of it. I was just wondering if they pinpointed a number that they
Yeah.
were gonna be.
Well, I think what Mike said too is the fact of how long it takes for something large is very imperative. And we always talk about moving the door, but I think the best one is that if you have a big machine on site, let's say hypothetically, and there's a rock that machine can move at that time, and the machine is gonna leave that afternoon, and if there's no one to sign a $100 change order to pick it up and put it in the truck, and the machine leaves, it'll be 10 grand to bring the machine back. So that's kind of a real graphic one.
Okay, Bill,
Thank you.
I saw your piece in the paper today, good one.
Thanks. I'm going to show it to Chief Riley. I think our town is blessed with an excellent fire department. I also think that we may have an opportunity to do something that is very proactive. The state has a safe and senior safe award program. They do grants to towns and cities based on population and senior population for training for kids in school, and also provide some great services for senior citizens like smoke and carbon monoxide alarm installation, testing and replacing batteries, installation of house numbers, so on and so forth. So I got the data from their website of the awards they've given in the past 3 fiscal years. Amesbury participates, Boxford, Georgetown, Groveland, Ipswich, Salisbury, Topsfield, they all get money. For the past 3 years, if you participated, it's about $18,000 between the 2 programs. I don't see Newbury there at all. Now, they may have applied and maybe not got the award, so I'll give them that benefit of doubt. But I think it's worth looking into. You have to provide some information. You have to have some assistance from the Council of Aging to include the seniors and query them, so on and so forth. But I'd like to turn this package over to someone.
If you would give it to Tracy, that'd be perfect.
Okay, great.
And we'll make sure we look into it.
How did you find out about that? I'm curious.
There was a newspaper article in 2017 about Boxford. And I have friends in Boxford. They installed smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors in their house in
Yeah.
2017. The fire department came back and said it's time to replace your batteries. So it's really pretty proactive. I also think they subsidized portable fire extinguishers for households. So,
Very good. Thank you for bringing that to us.
no problem, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Mr. Chairman, I had surgery last week. I need to get up and walk around.
Feel free.
Pardon the interruption, if I can just walk around during
No,
correspondence.
fully understood, no problem. We received a letter of resignation from Mariah Lucy from the rec committee, some extenuating circumstances, she can't continue to serve, but I'd like to move that we send Mariah Lucy a letter of thanks
Please.
for her time serving on the rec committee.
Motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
And thanks, Mariah, for your time you dedicated to the rec committee. Again, a much-needed
Yeah.
body on one of our town committees. We received a letter from Scoutmaster George Pasanka, Troop 15, about some Eagle Scouts coming up, so hopefully we'll get a visit from him. A letter of 1/23/2020 from Xfinity. Another letter of 1/27/2020 from Xfinity. Any meeting updates?
I have a couple. It looks like we may not be able to get the regional agreement in order in time for the Springtown meeting because of DESE and their legal review process. I've also met with Martha and Pete and Merrimack Valley Planning again, moving forward with looking at how to get some more affordable housing into town that fits with the town as opposed to the 40Bs that get shoved down our throats.
More friendly 40Bs.
Yeah, and we're looking at meeting with Habitat and some developers and trying to steer a way forward for the town that doesn't hurt us the way that the 40B process does. And again, related to the surgery, I was just talking to the chief and wanted to just put out the public announcement that if you have leftover opiates from a surgery, you can deliver them to the Newburyport Police Station for proper disposal. So if you have
Newburyport.
painkillers,
Newburyport.
Any date, or you can just walk in?
you can just, as I understand it, you just walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also do it at CVS. CVS has a disposal bin as well.
They probably
Okay.
It's the last time I saw, I haven't seen CVS.
Yeah, and a lot of times that stuff can end up hanging around the medicine cabinet for a long time, and knowing people that have got,
Dogs get into them.
well, dogs can get into the stuff, but more so
Kids.
Yeah.
teenagers. A lot of teenagers get started on a path to drugs right out of their parents' medicine cabinet,
Yeah.
so that's very good advice, Damon, and thanks for putting out there to everybody. It's good to get those out of the house the second you don't need them.
Yeah, just figured it was a helpful reminder.
Absolutely.
I have a meeting update. I went to the Massachusetts Municipal Association meeting a couple weeks ago. I volunteered my time with the association, and I received an email from them. I've been appointed to the Fiscal Policy Committee
You're gonna be
at the
busy.
Commonwealth. So, as a technical expert, and so, there's three mayors, the mayor of the city of Boston, Worcester, and Marlborough are on it. There's three boards of selectmen members, there's a city councilor, it's about 18 or 20, members. And any legislature that comes out of the House or the Senate, its fiscal impact is looked at in all the cities and towns, and this committee looks at that fiscal impact. So I'm really excited to be part of this. I think that Essex County is very underrepresented. I think I can make a big difference. And I know the superintendent of schools and the school committee chair is very excited that I'm going to be part of this. The board of directors is meeting today, and I haven't gotten the final approval, but they were supposed to approve all the committees. But I'm specifically on the fiscal committee, so,
Congratulations.
thank you.
And I'm
Congratulations.
proud of you for
Thank
taking
you.
that on.
Thank you. It's needed.
You're gonna be doing some driving and
They'll be doing some
talking
driving.
and,
They meet in Boston, and it's just something I'm passionate about. I understand how, fiscal budgets work, and I understand how town government works and state government works. And I really think I can make a difference.
Yeah, and you never know what you learn there that can help us
That's
here.
right, I learn a lot, and, this is a very, it's an important committee, so it has impact.
Awesome.
Quick one here too, JR. I've attended 2 meetings, one at Northern Essex and one in Newburyport, because Newburyport has received a grant for a study of the CSOs, which is combined sewer overflows in the Merrimack River, and how we're gonna handle them and how we're gonna go forward with some of the thoughts on what we're gonna do with the river. And like JR just mentioned about opiates and things like that, and the new thing that's really hitting the airwaves is called PFAS, which is stuff from fire, foam and Teflon pans. So these forever chemicals that just never go anywhere. And it's kind of surprising, the Merrimack River, we're gonna actually Peter and I are gonna do some plastics testing to see what's in this, the consolidated water column, but the Merrimack River has so much going on in that river, and it would really be nice over the next decade to get our, senators and legislators to really look forward to trying to clean that up. It's surprising because of the arsenic and all the other things that exist in the granite in New Hampshire, bladder, pediatric, breast. New Hampshire's got one of the highest rates per person in the country. So there's a lot going on in our watersheds and our rivers, and needless to say, there's between, what is it, Jen, 11 to 12 towns that are dumping on sewage overflows into our Merrimack River. So it's time.
And those are just the pipes.
Oh, and
you
I
know
actually got to give Diana DeZoglio, the senator, she's really working hard on it, and she's done a good job.
She's done an excellent job.
Jeff, thank you for taking that on, because I know
Well,
that,
it goes with the environmental stuff I
well,
do, so,
you'll be an asset to them.
yeah, well, it's fun.
Thank you.
It's distressing to really know how far behind we are. It's unbelievable in these days and times when we talk about so many elevated and intellectual issues, what we do to a very long body of water that starts in the, Lake Winnipesaukee and Profile Lake.
I never realized the scope and the magnitude of how much treated and untreated sewage goes into our rivers until I became involved in politics.
Yeah, it's
I think-
disgusting.
I think the general member of the public is not aware of where all the pipes and the pump stations and the treatment centers fall out. And I was really alarmed when I got more involved in town affairs and learned basically that's where it all goes.
Well, it's just the fact that when you have certain rainfalls, everything's combined, and that's why they call it combined. All your storm drains and everything else go to the sewage treatment plant, and they can't handle it. So I've got a really good solution, but no one wants to listen to me. I think that all the towns that are putting sewage into the river should have no more development. No more schools, no more houses, no more factories.
Until
And
they
see how
clean up their
quickly
mess.
they fix the problem, So, but no one's listening to that.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. All right, thanks for that, Jeff. Any other meeting updates?
Just not an update, but I saw in the paper about the cybersecurity for the town. What are we doing there, and
Susan can speak to that the best since she's our tech person. I'm not a,
We were awarded a grant from the Commonwealth for cybersecurity, so we're gonna be used as a beta site, and all of the personnel are gonna be
Trained?
basically trained. We'll go through a whole training program.
What company
But
was-
they're gonna give us the software to utilize during the
Nice.
whole training period, so
do you know what company we're using?
I do not.
Okay.
It's a vendor provided through the Commonwealth, so
Okay.
I don't know
You
who
just,
it
if you
is.
find out, just send me a text. on
Sure.
that. Thank you.
Sure.
okay, any other meeting updates? We have some meeting minutes to approve.
Motion to approve November 26th meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any warrants tonight, Alan? Looks like we do.
Motion to sign warrants.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.